Out of all the Nickelodeon shows, Victorious is by far one of the most mean-spirited and aggressive to its cast of characters. In just about every episode, you get a moment, or two, or three, where the punchline is someone gets completely shit on, or straight up assaulted, or otherwise humiliated and degraded in some other way for our amusement. One episode ends with half of the group sick in the hospital with a virus that they got from toxic flesh-eating fish, and it's all played for laughs. Like that's all meant to be the funny payoff to an entire subplot. Another episode shows Tori repeatedly having to donate blood over and over again until she's donated 3 pints of blood and gets all dizzy. Hilarious. Another episode shows Andre growing a giant tumor on his neck after getting an insect bite, and they constantly joke about how he might actually die from it. Sick. And even though I knew Victorious was like this, I was still frankly shocked by the episode Brain Squeezers. This shit takes mean-spirited to a whole new level. Tori and the gang sign up to be on some new game show, which turns out to be a teenage torture porn fetish show, where you basically watch the entire cast of teenagers get brutally assaulted during the entire episode. And genuinely, I think if this was real, there would have been at least 1 to 2 deaths minimum. It's actually shocking. I genuinely don't think most of the characters would have survived Brain Squeezers. And the ones that would probably have some sort of permanent damage at the very least. So let's get into this disturbingly violent episode and see what the final injury and kill count ends up being. As always, if you guys like this one, be sure to give us a like and maybe even subscribe. I might just sign up for some random Craigslist game show if you do. And if you have any other episodes or shows you want me to cover in the future, let me know in the comments. All right, let's dive in. So the episode starts off with Tori doing one of my personal pet peeves.
Oh my God. Yes! Yes! Yes!
What's going on?
Just make your damn announcement, Tori. It's so annoying when people just loudly react to things and then force the others around them to ask, what was that about? Just make the announcement. She tells them she got picked to be on the new game show called Brain Squeezers, and they all tell her nobody knows what the hell that even is, because none of the episodes have aired yet, apparently, and it's brand new. Sinjin overhears everything and says he's heard of it, and he's impressed when he hears that Tori's flexing.
OMRG? You got picked to be a team captain.
Sure did.
Who?
What does OMRG stand for?
OMRG?
I've spent hours thinking about it. What the hell can it be? And they never tell you either. I'm fucking pissed. Since everyone at Hollywood Arts is a shameless fame whore, they all start hassling Tori immediately, asking if they can be on her team, when just a few seconds ago, they never heard of it and thought she was weird for making the announcement. Why do they trust Sinjin's opinion? Because Sinjin vouched for Tori that's a cool game show, they all want to be on it now? Sinjin's a fucking freak.
What do you collect?
Oh, I collect these teeth from the relatives of past presidents.
If he heard about it, then it's probably fucking weird, right?
Okay.
Oh my God. No, no, no.
Wow. Never heard that from a girl before.
Did Beck just brag about how much he's gotten laid? Tori apologizes and says she's just in defense mode because everyone is hassling her non-stop about being on a Brain Squeezers team. And right on cue, Robbie shows up and cleans her locker and also gives her $20 to suck up. But when she says there's no guarantee she'll pick him for the team, he grabs his $20 back and makes her locker dirty again with some pocket sand. And of course, we get the Jewish character ripping a $20 bill out of someone's hands. Kat then shows up and says she's playing a quiz game on her pear pad to learn some trivia facts in case she needs it.
Do you know which one of them they call the Aloha State?
Yes.
It's Hawaii.
Beck seems to be the only one not openly simping for a spot on the team, but even he drops the too cool to care act a second later.
I guess people are pretty desperate to be on a game show. Can I be on your team?
Fame whores. All of them. At home, Trina suggests 2 possible team combinations to Tori, one of which doesn't even include Tori herself. To get back at her, Tori shoves pie in her face, and then Trina bites her ear and runs off.
Does my pie smell funny?
You bit my ear!
First, that's a waste of perfectly good pie. But also, this is the normal type of aggression I expect from Victorious. The good old pie in the face, then biting the ear 1-2 punch combo. Stuff like this happens legit in every episode. But it's the scenes that come later that really set this episode apart. Jade shows up at the door crying, saying her mom might go to jail, and Tori sees through her bullshit right away and calls her ass out for lying. And Jade's a real asshole for this, because back in season 1, episode Jade Dumps Beck, she showed up at Tori's front door actually crying for real. And Tori was a caring friend and helped comfort her. Even though Jade has only ever been a total bitch to Tori, she was still willing to help her out when she needed a friend. So for Jade to remember that moment of kindness and then try to recreate it with acting to try to take advantage of Tori's kind soul is just kind of horrible, to be honest. And when she's called out for lying, Jade gets all fake tough guy on Tori. Give me a fucking break. We all know Jade is no Sam Puckett. She's all bark and no bite. In all 3 seasons of Victorious, you never once see Jade back this attitude up. She's fake as hell.
Stop it! Look, you know what? I'm tweeting. Yep. I am on theslap.com and I'm tweeting I picked my brain squeezers team.
What the actual fuck?
I'm tweeting.
Tweeting? It's the slap. You go out of your way to make this entire unique social media platform to keep everything in universe, and yet you use the fucking word tweeting. It's not a tweet. They were called tweets because the logo for Twitter was a bird, and birds fucking tweet. The logo for the slap is a fucking hand. You would say you're posting or you're slapping. You wouldn't fucking say you're tweeting. What the hell even is that? How the fuck do you even pronounce it? Why would a little teenage girl like Tori be using a word like that? What the fuck? And yeah, I looked it up, and it's a goddamn fear of vegetables. How does Tori know that word? Genuinely. And what the hell does that have to do with anything? Random is funny Dan Schneider strikes again. Cut to backstage at the Brain Squeezer studio, and, why is Tori in a blazer? She's a high schooler. She wants to be a pop star, not a 40-year-old businesswoman. She tries to check in, but the guy says Tori Vega already checked in 10 minutes ago. And turns out Jade is doing some identity theft, and she claimed to be Tori so she could steal her spot on the show.
I'm Tori Vega. Liar. I don't know what
Already behind, so you guys go with her. You're on the yellow team.
But they're on my team because I'm Tori Vega.
Who cares? You're gonna be captain of the blue team.
Oh, yay, I like blue.
Wait, what? Who was Tori originally supposed to be against? Where is the other team that she was meant to compete with? It's never explained, but if Jade did not show up with all these extra characters, who the fuck would Tori have been competing against on the show? Tori tweets again and uses an emoji that looks beat to shit, which is just some foreshadowing for what's to come. Finally, the actual game show starts, and the host of Game Squeezers is actually a recurring character from Henry Danger. He plays a news reporter, and good for him. So the whole shtick of the game show, they get asked questions, and if they get them right, the team gets points. But if they get them wrong, the team gets a doink, which I'm guessing is a parody of a zonk from Let's Make a Deal.
First question to the yellows. Jade, the topic is animals. Who'll take it?
Robbie.
That's me.
And I'm pretty sure that was a random All That reference to the Ask Ashley segment.
That's me.
That's me.
Robbie gets the first question wrong, and something small that bothers me, they never tell you what the right answer was.
How many toes on a camel's hoof?
The answer is 2, if you were wondering. Why the fuck wouldn't they tell you? So Robbie gets sprayed with a mysterious liquid as his doink, and sadly, they do answer the question of what the liquid was.
Pus blast.
I'm extremely upset. My appetite is actually gone. I gagged in my throat, not okay. How did they collect so much pus? Where did they collect it from? Does Robbie need to go to the hospital and be checked for disease? Tori throws the next question, a sports question, to Trina, who complains she doesn't know shit about sports. But to be fair, I don't know who else on the team Tori could have given that one to that would have actually done any better.
How many laces on a football?
The answer. Who cares?
Why not at least take a guess, Trina? You just saw Robbie get pus blasted. Like, damn, at least give it a shot. Wouldn't you want to try to avoid that fate? And by the way, since they never tell you the right answer and it grinds my gears, an American football has one lace with 8 cross stitches. So I guess the answer is 1, but it was kind of a trick question. So Trina gets a doink, and hers is even worse than Robbie's.
Nuts and bolts!
What? What nuts and bolts?
Okay. Those were metal objects raining down upon her skull. She's most likely gonna have a concussion, and I wouldn't be surprised if her skull was cracked and bleeding. Oh, yeah, she is.
My head is bleeding!
I can't see out of my right eye.
Kat looks shocked when this assault with a deadly weapon occurs, and I'm making the same face watching from home. If one of those had hit her in the eye, we'd have a problem. By the way, we didn't see them sign any waivers when they came in, and they specifically said they're high schoolers. In fact, in the very first scene of the episode, Tori says it's a new game show for kids and teens.
What is brain squeezes anyway?
It's a new game show for kids and teens.
Do they also brutalize young children on this show? What kind of lawyer does this game show have that they're not afraid of being sued for causing injuries to the contestants? I mean, forget about some cuts and a concussion. Depending on the drop height of those metal objects, we could have been talking skull fractures, brain bleeding, neck and spinal injuries, and the list goes on. And by the way, now would be a great time for them to all get the fuck out of there. Seriously, why aren't they leaving? And getting Trina medical attention for that matter. No one is locked up in a cage here. They're not forced to stay. Sure, they didn't know the game show was gonna be like this, but now they do know. So fucking bounce out of there. Are they really all such fame whores that they are willing to risk being violently harmed just to be on TV and win $2,500? Yeah. That's the prize. $10,000 split amongst the team, or $2,500 per person. They're all fucking rich kids. Hollywood rich kids that live in the Hollywood fucking hills. Tori's parents offered to buy her a brand new car.
You're taking Trina. No.
Yes.
You are taking Trina.
Not happening. We'll buy you a car.
Any car you want.
They don't need $2,500.
What kind of game show is this?
Yeah, she says that, but then nobody makes a single move to leave or even suggests it. The next question goes to Beck, and he tries to pass.
What United States president used to take baths with his mother's dog?
I'll pass.
You can't pass.
Pass.
Again, why not at least take a guess? Just name a president. You at least have a tiny % chance of getting it right. And by the way, some sources will tell you the answer to this one is Calvin Coolidge, but there's actually no historical evidence that he ever took a bath with his mother's dog. It's just a weird rumor. So I guess this question literally had no correct answer? And Beck's doink is maybe the worst one so far.
Is that a bowling ball?
Look, that kind of blunt force trauma can cause major internal damage. I wish Beck the absolute best. I hope his liver didn't rupture, and I hope the massive internal bleeding he might be experiencing doesn't get in the way of his modeling career or whatever it is he wants to do. Next, Tori throws a math question to Kat, which is kind of evil of Tori. I mean, damn. Kat starts the episode thinking she was on hold listening to hold music, when really she was just listening to her own Spotify playlist. You really think she's gonna get a math question right?
What is the only number that's both even and odd?
That literally makes no sense. There's no correct answer to this question. They just wanted to beat the fuck out of these teenagers. So Kat gets a doink, and she gets punched in the face not once, but twice. Sheesh. The next question to Jade is about the movie The Scissoring, and they really love mentioning that innuendo on this show. It's actually brought up in 3 different episodes. In 3 Girls and a Moose, Jade says she loves that movie more than she loves her mother.
I was hoping to go see the house where they filmed my favorite scary movie.
Oh, what movie?
The Scissoring?
Oh. First of all, I love that movie more than I love my mother.
And in A Christmas Story, Kat gets her the actual pair of scissors used in the movie for Secret Santa.
Oh my God, Kat, you did not.
Scissors.
They're special scissors.
Okay.
They're from a real movie. What movie were they used in?
The Scissoring.
But even though it's Jade's favorite movie, they ask her a question that nobody could possibly get right.
How many times is the word scissors spoken?
I don't know. Who would know that?
correct.
She of course gets it wrong, and her doink is assault and battery. So she gets some salt poured on her head, and then Andre, for some reason, gets pelted with batteries. I don't want to say it, but here I go saying it. Hate crime? He says, what the fuck, and points out Jade's the one who got the question wrong, not him. So they pelt Jade with batteries too.
That's borderline dangerous.
Yeah, why don't you just drop a car battery on her head?
Car battery!
Alright, typical small car batteries weigh roughly 30 to 50 pounds. So dropped from a height of, let's say, 10 feet directly onto the head, that would probably cause serious harm. This could have absolutely been life-threatening for Jade. She would have been bleeding all over the floor. And no one goes to even check on her. No one suggests getting out of there and getting her medical attention. The entire group on Victorious are the leeches of society. They care more about being on TV than they do about their friends being safe and alive. And fun fact, in the UK version of this episode, they still include Beck's line where he sarcastically says that they should drop a car battery on Jade's head, but the bit where she actually gets hit with a car battery is cut. So the next question for Sinjin is about bugs, and he says, bet, I know all about bugs.
What kind of spider likes to eat dead, rotting flesh?
Easy. It's the northern spectrum.
Now that's a damn shame. Justice for Sinjin. When the others couldn't even be bothered to attempt answering the question, he actually knew the damn answer and still got brutalized. Even though in real life that question and answer were both bullshit as far as I can tell, there's essentially no spider that prefers to eat rotting flesh. And in case you were wondering, in real life Sinjin would be absolutely cooked. He'd be laying in a pool of his own blood, much worse than a car battery. An average toilet weighs anywhere from 75 to 150 pounds. Let's be real, Sinjin's skull would probably be bashed in. There'd be major blood loss and most likely death. No one cares about Sinjin and his likely fatal injuries. Sinjin actually posts on the slap from beyond the grave, and fun fact, it's the only time we see him post on the slap in the entire series. He says his toes are numb, so I guess the paralysis is already setting in from his head injury. So everyone except Tori has been severely injured during some off-screen doinks, and yet they still return to the set for more abuse. You know what? I don't even care anymore. They deserve it. All of them have free will. No one is here as a prisoner. I would have left after that very first doink where Robbie got sprayed with pus. These idiots get no sympathy from me when they could have walked out 20 injuries ago. Look at them. Come on. Jade is literally missing teeth. Andre's shirt is all cut up. Did they come at him with knives? Trina looks like she got tarred and feathered. And the show reminds us they're doing this for only $10,000, which gets split amongst the team. So really, $2,500. Yeah, totally worth these injuries. Like I said, Tori lives in the Hollywood Hills. She could have got a free car from her parents. The final question is about the 50 states, and Tori throws it to Kat since that's what she studied on her trivia app earlier in the episode. And as luck would have it, the question is straight out of her app.
Which state is a series of tropical islands and is known as the Aloha State?
Oh, jeez. Wait, is it Hawaii?
Judges?
So Tori's team wins the money, and they say all she has to do is grab the cash in the 10-second time limit. But of course, a gigantic dude who's actually played by a former WWE wrestler manhandles her and pins her to the ground while the money is a few feet away, out of reach. So of course, she can't grab it. The timer runs out, and that's the episode. Everyone's been maimed and tortured, and nobody wins any money at all. But they get to be on TV, so yay, I guess?
Get comfortable. We're gonna be here for a while.
That's kind of a weird joke. Filming is over, and now he's just committing false imprisonment against her. Someone should call the police. And in the credits scene, we get a small reference to the Amanda Show with the appearance of the dancing lobsters. That's cool, but why the fuck are they here? This episode had nothing to do with the Amanda Show. And don't get me wrong, I love to see them, but I can't help but wonder, why did the torture porn episode give us not one, but two references to Amanda Bynes? I don't even want to make a joke about about this, but I'm creeped out by the implication that brutalizing the teenagers on Victorious made Dan somehow nostalgic for his shows featuring Amanda Bynes. I don't know. And honestly, guys, this episode has got to be the most mean-spirited and straight up violent towards its characters out of any episode from any Nickelodeon show ever. When I covered Theater Thug from Drake and Josh, a lot of comments said the episode felt too mean towards Josh to be funny. And that episode is pretty funny. I mean, Josh gets beat up by a bunch of little grannies. And even on iCarly, when Freddy is constantly being abused for laughs, it's at least usually stuff that wouldn't cause him serious bodily harm. Sam giving him an Indian burn isn't that bad compared to the Victorious cast. The characters might as well walk around with protective gear on at all times. Because them having to go to urgent care is the punchline. No one is safe from serious bodily harm accompanied by a laugh track, and it's actually a little sociopathic on behalf of dirty Dan Schneider. It's a new level of disrespect for these characters, and Brain Squeezers is one of the biggest offenders in the entire series. To me, the episode is so gross and just aggressively unpleasant that it's pretty unwatchable. I mean, even if you enjoy bodily harm as a form of comedy, it's just the same punchline used over and over again in this episode. But enough of me yapping. What do you guys think of Brain Squeezers? Do you agree with me that it's a little too much, or do you find all the graphic injuries to be funny? Let me know how you're feeling in the comments, and let's kick it. And as always, I gotta give a massive, sensual, erotic, throbbing shout out to the Patreon and channel members. I can't thank you all enough for the support. I genuinely just can't. And if you're still here, that's awesome. Maybe check out some other videos and make sure you're subscribed. You might have a good time, you might not. I can't make any promises. All right, thanks for listening.